Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for a video. So today, just real quick, this is probably going to be a short, but there is this situation that occurs after you leave the narcissist, okay? And it's like a situation where when you have gone cold plate on them. See, with the narcissist, they think there's never going to be an end point to this whole thing. But at some point, they overplayed their hand, okay? And you get to a point in a place in time where you just have had enough, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? I know you know what I'm talking about. Because my narcissist was probably just like yours. And they all... But, male or female. But anyway, this is the deal. They think they can play you and they can be arrogant. Bold-faced, arrogant asses, really. Let's just call it what it is, man. And that you're going to grovel for their hand or something and beg them. And maybe you partially did that in the past, but you get to a point where at least some of us do. And that's why you don't want to be a toxic enabler, because a toxic enabler will go way beyond what they should in humanity do for an individual that's not, they're not worth anything. They ain't worth, you'd be better off dating a rock. At least a rock ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? And it won't cheat on you. If you ask a rock, will you stay here? It'll stay there. It's loyal. At least a rock is loyal, y'all. It's loyal. A loyal rock is better than a crazy narcissist, that's for sure. I would take a rock over a narcissist any day. But, no, to get to the point, the narcissist, they just think they're never going to overplay their hand. They think that you're always going to just take them back. You ain't that good. You looped us in this BS, and then we get caught up in it because we have a heart and you don't. And you think it's funny, and a lot of times you brag about it and mock us and all these things, laugh behind our back. You go to parties and gig out, with your friends while you're like setting up to unalive us and all craziness, right? Some of us get set up for the worst things in the world. Sometimes they could be setting up a robbery or an unaliving or just a cheat or just a way to make fun of you, whatever. But all narcissists do something that's evil and real shitty. And I guess what I'm getting at is at some point they overplay your hand, and then when you leave them alone, they think that time apart, you're going to come back to them. They'll play the weight game with you. But you get past a certain point, a breaking point with them, where they run out of all their supplies and they start having abandonment issues. Well, that's what they get because you are over it. You can take somebody, you can take an empathic individual when they've had enough. There's some of us, maybe not all of us, but I have this. I know how to show you a cold plate, y'all. And with the one I was with, man, I have no problem showing her a cold plate because she was never anything good for anybody. She was out for her own self by any means necessary if she had to put you in the dirt. And then my point is when a narcissist like loud cars, because they always got to get attention. The car may not even go fast, but it'll be loud. They will run through their supplies, and a lot of times karma will come and hit them in the ass, really. It'll hit them, and they think they just come back. They'll just love bomb you again. Man, we've had enough of that love bombing. We've had all of your crap. It's just a distraction. They think they can get away with it over and over again. But some of us wake up, and some of us will hand them that cold plate, y'all. And my point is, then they get on this whole kick to where they're this vulnerable, coy victim, and you're a villain, or you're not seeing things right. Why? Or how can you be better off without them? Man, anybody's better off without a narcissist. And if they're not, it's because they gave up too much of their power and they let it get to their head. And they believed all the nonsense the narcissist wanted you to hear. And you let it get uploaded into your head. And you believed it. But some of us, sometimes it's grace. And sometimes we were willing to put up with way too much BS. But at some point, you just turn that switch off. And the narcissist is like dumbfounded. They're like a deer in the headlights. Like, what? What? You were like the worst nightmare in my life. ever. You were the biggest problem in my life ever, biggest money pit. And if it wasn't you taking money, it was all of the crap that broke and got destroyed while you were around because you're a witch. And all the cheating and all the BS and all the cheap ways you treated individuals like myself. I'm talking about all these narcissists for all these relationships, right? Because they're all the same. It's just, it's how much fuel you pump in them is how big their ego will get. It'll just continue to grow. So you can look at the different aspects of the spectrum. But generally speaking, if you continue to have a narcissist gets lucky and gets pumped up with a whole bunch of supply sources more than normal, they're going to be a bigger pain in the ass, a bigger pompous jerk, more and more. And they get to a point where they mock you. They will put your face in the ground. They will unalive you. They will rob you. They will do anything. They will just do anything to wreck you and to make you out to be a mockery. Well, guess what? A lot of times what'll happen is God's upstairs, and he's watching. And he knew you had a good heart, a loving heart. And God will be like this. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. God's keeping count, y'all. And he'll come back when that person's like looking their greatest, doing their best. Man, he'll put them in the biggest ditch in the world. He might put them in a ditch so deep they'll never get out of it in their whole lifetime. They'll be in all these pitfalls, one after another. We're talking about they might be a drug addict now. They might be addicted to prostitution, addicted to sex. Well, I want to get my numbers up, so I got to watch what I say. But they might be addicted to sex because their ex, one of their exes, cheating on them too, right? Because they're prostitutes or they're hoes, whether they're prostitutes or not, whether they're getting paid or not, but most of them are getting paid. Then that one will do them in. Like, that'll be the next level narcissist. Like, if they're a sociopath, this one might be a psychopath or something, antisocial. And they're like, oh, well, I'm the strongest narcissist ever. Well, no, there's always somebody stronger, more powerful. So you got to be careful of how you treat people, okay? And then they get in such a ditch, and they may try to reach out to you, and you don't want to hear it. You ain't having it. But you'll hear some stuff from around the way, maybe. And it's God putting them in their negative reaping that they deserve, or the negative karma that they deserve for all the dissatisfaction, because they didn't care. They didn't think about their actions that they did to you. And it's not eye for an eye here at all. And it's whatever God decides to do. I always say, man, I'm always up for whatever God decides, because, whatever the Lord decides, a lot of times you may not even know your truest heart desires, but he does. Your creator does. So I like to leave it up to his hands. But I will tell you this, they will be in the deepest, darkest depression sometimes. And I'm not saying I caused it on this individual, or that this individual is going through the worst depression in the world. Chances are I think they are, though. But it's because of the dissatisfaction on the way sometimes they treated you. And the Lord wants them to feel this, because it's like whatever you felt, you never would wish that upon anybody. And I'll give it back to him. And he'll let them get mocked too by their own people. And it still won't change anything, because narcissists don't change. But it's because they don't care about their actions. They don't care. They didn't care about the things they did to you. They just kept laughing and mocking and playing on you. And if they could do it for a lifetime, they would have. Okay? And if you were to fix them up today, y'all, they would do it to you tonight. They would treat you that way tonight. And they would kick you and spit on you. And again, they would walk down to the end of the sidewalk, and they would have their new supply waiting in the car with the passenger door open. And they would hop in and laugh and make fun of you and tell you how much a sucker you were and keep it moving. So the lesson to this, don't ever take a narcissist back. They do not change. And if you take them back, then the repercussions that come next are going to be 10 times worse than whatever you pulled them out of and whatever you dealt with before. And I hate to say that because I know we all have hearts and I know these guys are tricky. They're from hell itself. And the best thing you could do with a devil is let him go. Because what the Lord is testing you on is he will bring you something 10 times better. And that's what you got to always know. So thank you for watching. Peace and love, y'all.